I've been Minister of Power for barely 2 years. It's been quite a very interesting time, an exciting time too, working under a president who is very people-oriented, a president who really cares about the people, a president who listens to his ministers. And we're also, for the first time in a long time, giving emphasis to fuel diversification or diversity. We are doing coal. We are working very hard to make sure that coal generates power in Nigeria. We also have established 3 communities as a test case where we have given 24/7 uninterrupted power supply using solar technology, Durumi, Sape, and Wadu. And Mr. President himself commissioned and flagged up Operation Light Up Rural Nigeria on the 13th of January 2014. So for 1 year, they've had uninterrupted power supply. A situation where Mr. President inherited less than 3,000 megawatts. That's about 2,800 real-time weighted average power delivery on a daily basis, to where he now delivers over 4,000 megawatts. I think it's substantial in one tenure of being president of Nigeria. And I think that is tremendous. The problem is because Mr. President is reaching out to rural communities. So many more rural communities that didn't even have 1 hour of power supply because they were not connected to the grid are now being connected. So any incremental benefits that the nation receives, it trickles down. So at the end of the day, if you are getting 10 hours, you probably are getting 14 hours now. If you are getting 18 hours, maybe 20. There are a few places that are getting 22 hours, 23 hours, and so on. Very few places, but it's growing. And then those who are getting 0 are now getting 4 hours, 5 hours, and so on. So it goes down to the entire country for those that are connected to the grid. So I would say that generally the picture is looking good. Not everybody will get all the increase at the same time, and we are not going to say let us just single out 1 or 2 cities and give them uninterrupted power supply. They are not more Nigerian than those in the rural areas, and that's why Mr. President insists that every rural community should have some sort of electricity, and we felt the best way to do this was to use a resource that God has given to us free of charge, and that is sunlight, to give power to rural communities. And Mr. President says he's going to, has already approved, not that he's going to, that this be extended to the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with each state getting 3 pilot projects to now encourage the private sector to come in and take over. Before the end of this year, we will add maybe another 1,000 megawatts. By the end of next year, we should be getting close to 10,000 megawatts. By 2017, 12,000 megawatts. And by 2020, 20,000 megawatts. And with each 1,000 megawatts added, you see thousands of jobs created all over the place. Industry springing up, manufacturing enterprises rising, agricultural centers or clusters growing and booming. Young entrepreneurs being able to have energy to do all kinds of things. And Nigerians are very innovative, but they need power to do that. And that's why Mr. President is so doggedly determined to make sure that power gets to all Nigerians. And one way he did it is to pursue the issue of privatization to a logical end. I think this is one of the boldest and most courageous things any president, any part of the world can do. Many countries have tried it and failed. Nigeria tried it, not even doing it in phases, but doing it in entirety. So it is to grow the local content and to eventually develop a critical mass of, technical people who will eventually drive the power sector as it grows.